How's everyone doing? I'm back here for a new first time watch video. It's been a while since I've done one of these, mostly just because I've been working a lot and I'm also preparing for my mom and her boyfriend to move in. So I've just had a lot of things going on in my life. But last night I watched a movie that I've been wanting to see for such a long time. I've been wanting to get it, but I unfortunately didn't find it until a few months ago. I finally got it on Blu-ray at not Best Buy, FYE, and this is one movie I've heard a lot of praise. I've heard a lot of people call it a modern horror classic, and I actually agree. I really, really enjoyed this film, and that is the 2012 remake, Maniac, starring Elijah Wood. And like I said, so much praise for this film. A lot of people were calling it a new modern horror classic, and I agree, but there's also a lot of people that I know do not like this movie, and I think one of the reasons why is because, well, first off, I just don't think a lot of people can take Elijah Wood serious in this certain type of character, because he always plays, a lot of people probably know him as, Macaulay Culkin's cousin in The Good Son, or they know him as Frodo, or, the kid from North. They know him in a lot of these, not really, I know The Good Son was dramatic, but they don't really know him as like a threatening character. They don't see him as that. They see him as like the person that he's in either dramas or he's been in comedies. Wilfred is another great show that I really enjoyed him in. But I actually think he really pulls it off very, very well. He has a great dynamic of, he's a really creepy person. He's really threatening, but there's also the character, his trait that makes people like him, and a lot of people do like him because he seems non-threatening. He seems like just a nice, normal guy, and I think that's one thing that he brings to the character that I really enjoy. Now, I do enjoy the original Maniac. I think it's a classic. It's really gritty and really, just a really gritty horror film. But I honestly think I'm probably going to revisit this one more simply because it is more polished, but there's also a lot of really gritty and a lot of gory moments. Also, I think I related to Elijah Wood's character. I felt more sympathy for him instead of the original character. Mostly because, like I said, he seems kind of like a normal guy. Like I said, kind of strange. He works with a lot of mannequins. That's basically what he does, is that he goes out and he kills women, and then he cuts the top of their heads off, for the hair, and puts it on top of these mannequins, and he has his own little mannequin shop that he runs, and then he lives in the back of the store, and there's just so many different mannequins, everywhere in his room. And the reason why he does this is simply because, he went through a lot of bad stuff in his life. His mother would bring men home and have sex with them, and she would do drugs right in front of him. So him being exposed to that has really messed him up mentally, and now he has a lot of anger towards women in general. You can also tell that that he also is really upset and of course sad that his mother's no longer with him. But you can tell that he also has a lot of anger and resentment towards women, and that's why he targets them. Which is, it's realistic, because a lot of times when serial killers, they go after women, that's one of the main reasons, is that they were exposed, like maybe their mother abused them, or their mother was a drug addict or a prostitute or what have you, and they were exposed to that, and that's why I think a lot of serial killers target women, and it's been proven that that's one of the reasons. And so you understand where he's coming from, but of course his actions are just terrible. Because like I said, he goes after these women, he just cuts off the top of their heads, and he uses them, for his mannequins. Eventually he does meet a girl that he does fall in love with, and they start sort of going out. They're not dating. She's kind of she's a photographer, and she photographs mannequins, and she has a boyfriend, and she's actually successful at it. And so they're kind of just going out as like friends, like to movies and stuff, and he ends up having affections for her. I don't want to get too far into that, but that's sort of the human quality of him, is that all the real monsters are humans, I think. All the, there are no real monsters. They're just, human monsters, and I think that he is a great interpretation of a human monster, you know, because he's a terrible person and he's a killer, but at the same time he has all these human traits. There are other things about him, like when he's trying to wash off his knife, he's using a braille for it, and he also starts rubbing his hands off, and it's causing his hands to bleed. And I guess that's sort of his way of sort of wiping his hands clean of the murder. And you can tell that, you know, he enjoys killing these women, but he also is really affected by it and really disturbed by it. At one point, he even goes out and he even vomits right into this into this toilet, and you can understand that it's you know, causing him a lot of pain to do this, but he feels like he has to do it. And throughout the entire film, he has memories of his mother doing these things. He also has visions of his mannequins talking to him, and he talks back to them like they're real people. And there's even a you know, mannequin that is a interpretation of his mother in his room as well. Now, like I said, this movie is mostly done in a first-person point of view of Elijah Wood's character, Franck Khalfoun, but there's also some moments where it actually goes away from that, and you actually do see his face, and you do see him actually killing people. But for the most part, whenever you see his face, it's mostly him looking at himself in a mirror, or looking at himself in the rearview mirror of his you know, of his car or whatever, and that's how it mostly is. And then there's some points where it pulls out, and you actually do get to see his face, and you get to see what he looks like, and you get to see him stabbing a woman or whatever. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of people that don't like this film for several reasons, but if you've been turned off by any of those reviews, or for anybody who's, you know, said something negative about this movie, I do recommend giving this one a chance, even if you have your doubts. I know Elijah Wood may not have been like the person that people would expect to play this type of character, but I think he pulled it off very, very well, and I think that he was amazing in this, and everyone else, as well as Nora, Arnezeder. I have no idea how to pronounce that name. But she did a really great job as his sort of love interest in the movie Emma. So yeah, if you have not checked out Maniac, I do definitely recommend giving it a chance. It's not expensive. It's, you know, $5, like I said, at Best Buy has had it in FYE, and it's just, I think it's a really great film. And I do agree with some people who are saying it's a modern horror classic. Do I think it's going to be remembered 20, 30 years down the road? I don't know. I think it's a very well done and great movie. I wouldn't say it's a perfect movie. There are some points in it that I was kind of like, well, that's not really that realistic. You know, there's some points in it that are like that. But I do think this movie is going to stay on people's minds for a while. And that's one thing that's good about the film, is that it stays with you. So anyway, guys, if you've seen the 2012 remake of Maniac, let me know down below what you think of it. Do you like it? Do you dislike it? Are you one of those people that think it's a new modern horror classic, or do you think that it's overrated? Let me know down below. Anyway, guys, thanks everyone for watching. I'm going to try to get another video up this weekend, but if I don't, you know, because I've got different things going on. Like I said, I am going to be helping my mom and her boyfriend move in some stuff tomorrow, so I don't know if I'll be able to get another video up, but I'll try. But anyway, guys, I hope everyone is doing well, and I'll see you guys in the next video.